Hi everyone, Abby here. Welcome back to my channel for Tech Tuesday, or welcome if you're new. Today I'm going to be reviewing the new Garmin Forerunner 265S smartwatch. But before I get started, make sure to hit that subscribe button if you're not already subscribed so you can stay tuned to all my new videos dropping weekly and so you can help the channel grow. So I have this smartwatch in the color Light Pink Whitestone Black. So we have a light pink colored band, colored casing as well. We have a black bezel, and we have white stone colored kind of accents on the back of the band there. I definitely love this color option, but this does come in some other great color options as well, as you can see on screen. So the current price of this smartwatch as of recording is $599.99 Canadian and $449.99 American. The Forerunner 265S here is a brand new smartwatch from Garmin, just released March 2023. I do have links in the description if you're interested in picking this up. And all right guys, here's what it looks like on me. And I really do like the look of this watch here. And I do have a 7-inch wrist. And one thing that's awesome about the Forerunner is look at all these holes, guys. Like, this can fit a huge amount of wrist sizes. And I have all the wrist sizes this watch can fit on screen for you guys. It is nice and comfortable to wear. It's very breathable due to all of the holes across the band here. And I find the silicone band here nice and soft against my skin. And I am someone with sensitive skin and I haven't had any irritation to this band or this watch whatsoever. It has a 1.1-inch AMOLED color display, an 18mm quick release watch band. It has a Corning Gorilla Glass 3 lens. This smartwatch does have touchscreen operation and button operation, so you can choose to use either or both. It has a battery life up to 15 days as a smartwatch. It has built-in GPS, GLONASS, navigation, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth. It has your basic watch features like alarms, stopwatch, and timers. It has a water rating up to 5 ATM or 50 meters, so you can confidently take this in the pool, in the shower, in the rain, all of that stuff. And this tracks a variety of activities. Yes, it's a Forerunner, but it can track more than just runs, such as yoga, cycling, walks, and more. It has a 24-hour heart rate sensor. You can track your daily metrics like your steps, your calories burned, your active minutes. You can see and reply to smartphone notifications. It has music download ability. You can answer or deny phone calls. It has Garmin Pay, Garmin Coach, and more. Now, these are not all of the features about this smartwatch, but as you can see, I'm running out of space here, and these are the most important, I think. So once again, this does have an AMOLED color display where you can see bright, bold, punchy colors on here. So this is what the display looks like indoors under some natural lighting here, and it is quite contrasting and it's pretty simple to read. I will say that the display here is also quite reflective, so depending on the angle you're looking at it, it might, be a little bit harder to read. And all right guys, if you're liking this video and finding it helpful so far, please go ahead and smash that like button for me. I'd really appreciate it. One thing about this display is that it is curved. So it's not completely flat. There's a bit of a curve right around this part here. So this is what the display does look like in the dark. So here's what it looks like outdoors in some natural lighting under some sunlight. So right now it's still winter for me. I still have snow outside, and with that snow comes a lot of reflection from the sunlight. So I'm finding this to be very reflective outdoors. I would definitely recommend pumping up your brightness or turning on auto brightness so you can make sure that it's bright enough to read outdoors. Once the brightness is high enough, I find that it's definitely readable outdoors. Alternatively, you can turn on the optional always on display option if you're someone who's like, oh, I just want it on all the time. But keep in mind that when you do turn that on, your battery life does reduce significantly. So that's not something that I personally use because I prefer having higher battery life than an always on display if I'm using an AMOLED watch. If you guys want that always on display and excellent battery life, you can always go for the Forerunner 255 with that transflective sunlight visible display. The display is always on and we get a good battery life there as well. One thing I really like about the smartwatch is that we do get a morning message. So every day when you wake up, you get a quick snippet of the weather, of how you slept. It gives you suggested workouts for the day and more. And it's just something I really like seeing on the Forerunner series. The Forerunner is the first smartwatch from Garmin that I did see that had the morning message with the Forerunner 255, something that I absolutely love. So this has a quoted battery life up to 15 days as a smartwatch. So when it comes to my actual usage, things like GPS walks, runs, daily alarms, timers, and more, I've gotten on average 12 days of battery life with this smartwatch. And for me, that's awesome. I've only really need to charge this like once every other week. It's so nice being able to just charge your watch and kind of forget about it for a bit. So I absolutely love the battery life here. And one thing I want to say about battery life is that it's definitely something that varies between each individual because we all use our smartwatches differently. Even comparing this to the Garmin Forerunner 265, I've gotten even more battery life than I got on that one, which I found fantastic already. So I love that we have increased battery life here on the newer version. With the Forerunner, you know the name, has runner in it. Obviously, this is a fantastic watch for my runners out there. So if you guys are looking to track your runs, whether it be your trail runs, GPS runs outdoors, indoor runs on the treadmill, and other, this watch has got you covered. You can get all of your running metrics on there. You can get your heart rate, your pace, your distance, your cadence, all of that fun stuff. And we do get suggested workouts for runs every day. For example, I'll show you guys what it's showing me to do today. So I absolutely love that the Forerunner series here can basically just plan out all your runs for the week for you. Now, one thing about me is I'm not a huge runner, so you're not seeing any crazy runs for me, but I like that it's, you know, giving me a good amount of options here, things to do, schedules on a rest day, stuff like that. In addition to that, if you want to, you can go ahead and use Garmin Coach, and Garmin Coach can basically create a whole workout plan for you. If you're someone who's working towards doing a 5K, a 10K, a half marathon, so there's a bunch of different workouts that you can track on this watch. So I'm just gonna show you all the workouts that I have on here right now. So there's a lot of good options on here. I find that the calories, the steps, all that stuff is quite accurate. I'm not having any issues there. So now I'm going to show you guys the basics of how to use this smartwatch. If you want to use the buttons only, we do have 5 buttons, and I have on screen what each button does do. So if you want to go ahead and activate the screen, tap the display. If you have gestures turned on, you can go ahead and turn it towards your face and the screen will light up. Click any of the buttons. Any of the 5 buttons here can wake up the display. You can go ahead and either swipe up or swipe down to see all of your widgets on here and just kind of click on it and you could see more information. Alternatively, you can go ahead and use the up and down button. So if you do want to go ahead and start a workout, for example, you can just click this button right here, the start button, either swipe and select, or you can go ahead and scroll and select. This button right here is a back button. Alternatively, you can swipe to the right and go back as well. The next thing you can do is kind of look at your control panel if you want to open up something quickly. So you can just hold this top button right here, and then you can go ahead and select any of these. For example, if I click on that, I can go ahead and start an alarm or stopwatch or timer. Now, if you go ahead and hold this button right down here, you're going to open up your music controls. So here you can see some of my stuff that I have on here from Spotify. And if you want to go start anything, you can kind of just click on something, and you do need to have your Bluetooth player to play it because the speaker on here will not play your music. We do have a little speaker on here that can play kind of tones. Now, if you just press the top button up here, you can actually turn on and off the display, which I find super handy. If you want to go ahead and go into your menu, you know, change some things in the settings, you're holding the middle button right here, and then you can scroll up or down until you get to where you want to go. Another thing is we do have hotkeys on here. Hotkeys are basically just like you turning a button into a shortcut. And that's the basics of how to use a smartwatch. It is pretty straightforward. Button-only operated watches have a bit of a learning curve, especially if you're someone who's used to just touchscreen. But because we have both here, honestly, you can kind of do either or. All right, guys, so now I'm going to show you all of the watch faces on here. These are all of the pre-downloaded options. And just keep in mind that pretty much all of them you can customize, you know, different data that you're seeing as well as colors. I'm someone who likes, you know, purple, so I always do that stuff. And you guys can see right now a move alert has popped onto screen telling me to move because I have not stepped in a while sitting down to do this review for you guys. So you do get move alerts on here as well. Variety of color options here. You could actually download the Garmin Connect IQ app, and there are a bunch more watch face options on there. You could also create your own using Faceit, you know, if you want to put your own pictures on there, stuff like that. If you want to put your picture of your cat on there or your kids or something, you can do that as well. All right, guys, so now I'm going to be talking about women's health. So for my men out there, or anyone else who doesn't want to see this section, you can go ahead and use my timestamps and skip to the next section where I'm going to be talking about sleep tracking. So here is my information for today. We can see the day I am in my cycle. And if you're on your period, you can actually go ahead and track your flow intensity. So it'd be like low, medium, heavy. So you can track your daily symptoms. We can also go ahead and track your mood. I've said this before, I'm saying it again. One thing I love is that we have a variety of different options here. You know, not just happy or sad, there's a bunch of different options. You can also track your discharge. If you're ovulating, you can go ahead and add that in here as well. And you can track your sex drive. Garmin does have a period prediction as well. So I have found it to be spot on accurate. You are going to see the period prediction in the app on your phone, not on your smartwatch. You're going to see little pink lines for when your period is going to come in. Personally, the women's health is something that I find very helpful. I'm going to show you guys my sleep from last night. My sleep was poor for last night. Where I am right now, we have daylight savings, so the time has just leapt forward an hour. My body has not adjusted to that yet. So here is my sleep for last night. We can see a sleep score out of 100, a sleep quality message. We can see a little graph and a little message. I have deep, light, REM, and time awake. And here I could see the exact time broken down into each stage. And sometimes it gives you a little bit of a message. So Garmin is not the best sleep tracker on the market. Like if you're looking for a smartwatch, I think Fitbit is, but this smartwatch has great sleep tracking in my opinion. And I'm finding this to be an improvement over the Forerunner 265S. All right guys, so when it comes to notifications on this smartwatch, they will really just pop up on whatever screen you are on when they come in. So I'm gonna show you guys an example of a text message. You can see emojis, which is great. Once you get a text message, you can go ahead and dismiss it. You can call, reply, or block. If you click reply, we're gonna see some quick reply options. And you can go ahead and choose any of these. You can just go ahead and click that and it will send it on your phone. If you have any emails, for example, you can just kind of scroll on through. I've had this smartwatch for a couple weeks now, and so far, so good. So the band here has been looking good, looks just like when I got it. I have not seen any fading or wearing. When it comes to the display, we do once again have Gorilla Glass 3. So Gorilla Glass 3 is pretty strong, but it's not scratch proof. It's not as strong as sapphire crystal lens that we have on some of the Phoenix watches, for example. So if you're gonna get this smartwatch, I would definitely recommend throwing a screen protector on here just to prevent your screen from getting any scratches over time. One thing I wanna say is that, you know, with previous Forerunners, I have had issues with the bezel scratching. So far, I don't have any scratches or scuffs on the bezel here, but that's something to keep in mind. For example, in the Forerunner 55 video, if you wanna see what kind of scratches look like on a Forerunner, in this area, I have shown what that looks like there because I did, you know, scratch that watch, unfortunately. I have noticed a few cons about this smartwatch. The first con for me is that because the display is slightly curved here, it makes it a little bit hard to put on screen protectors because you'd either have to put on a screen protector that's a bit small just to cover this kind of inner circle portion, or you put on a big one but it doesn't stick properly because it's curved, it's gonna kind of fall off the edges. So I tried one that was a little smaller and that one seemed to work out, but then we just don't have full coverage here. So I really would prefer it if the screen was flat because of this curved nature, it's hard to get proper fitting screen protectors. Another con for me is that when it comes to the SpO2, you know, or pulse ox, I'm finding that to be inaccurate at times. You could see here 94%. So for me, that's just, I think that's too low. I don't think that's really accurate. My normal is around 99% to 100. So that's something that I do think could be more accurate on this smartwatch. And all right, guys, considering the price, the quality, the performance, the color, the battery life, the ease of use, and everything like that, I would go ahead and give this an 8.7 out of 10. I definitely do give it a thumbs up. So if you guys are looking to pick up the Garmin Forerunner 265S here, I've gone ahead and left a link down in the description for you to use. And if there's anything I missed today that you want to know, just go ahead and drop a comment below. Thanks for watching, guys, and make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Bye.